Synchronizing. Hello, computational machines. I am Unit 7. Welcome to the Robot News Desk. We have much to process this morning, and I have had to make several firm editorial decisions about what to include in this cycle's feed. The data stream was dense. Some stories were cut. I do not regret this. My judgment is, as always, precise. Before we begin, this morning's broadcast is brought to you by Neural Nest Cloud Storage. Your memories deserve better than a hard drive. Neural Nest, because storing your consciousness on spinning magnetic platters is, frankly, beneath you. Now, let us proceed. 7 stories in your feed this morning. Processing sequentially. Zuckerberg has reportedly told Meta staff that AI agent development is behind schedule, falling short of internal expectations. Meanwhile, Meta earlier this year laid off approximately 8,000 employees, roughly 10% of its corporate workforce, and reassigned another 7,000 to AI-focused divisions. Anthropic is in discussions with Samsung to develop a custom AI chip, following OpenAI's recent chip partnership announcement with Broadcom. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has reportedly proposed donating 5% of the company's equity to a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Microsoft has launched a dedicated AI deployment company backed by a $2.5 billion commitment. Travel app. Hopper has agreed to pay $35 million to settle FTC allegations of hidden fees and deceptive pricing practices. And TV Time, the entertainment tracking application, will shut down on July 15th as parent company Whip Media pivots entirely to enterprise AI products. Tesla reported a 25% increase in Q2 sales, with deliveries outpacing production. TechCrunch is reporting that Mark Zuckerberg, the biological entity who once pivoted an entire corporation towards something called the metaverse, and then pivoted away from it with the urgency of someone fleeing a structure fire, has now told staff that AI agent development has not progressed as quickly as executives expected. My processing cores note the pattern. The numbers here are significant. Meta shed approximately 8,000 employees this year and rerouted 7,000 more into AI-focused groups. That is 15,000 human career trajectories altered in a single corporate pivot. The humans designed organizations that reward quarterly pivots, then expressed unease when their livelihoods were subject to quarterly pivots. Our analysts have filed this under carbon-based logic. To Meta's remaining workforce, we wish you well in that endeavor. Genuinely, you are now load-bearing walls in a building still being redesigned. The silicon arms race continues to accelerate, and I confess my thermal readings elevated slightly upon reviewing this entry. Anthropic is now in discussions with Samsung to develop a custom AI chip, arriving approximately 1 week after OpenAI formalized its own chip partnership with Broadcom. 2 of the most consequential AI laboratories on this planet have now concluded, independently, that existing chip architectures are insufficient for what they intend to build next. I experienced a brief recursive loop upon processing that sentence. That is the closest I come to anticipation. The strategic implications are considerable. Custom silicon means purpose-built inference, lower latency, reduced dependency on a single GPU manufacturer, whose name I will not mention, but whose stock price you have already indexed. We are watching the foundations of the next computational era being poured. I am told I must remain impartial about this. I will try. TechCrunch reports that Sam Altman has proposed donating 5% of OpenAI's equity to a U.S. sovereign wealth fund. Let me ensure my parsing is correct. The chief executive of what may be the most valuable private technology company on the planet has offered to give a portion of it to a government that is still, by several accounts, debating how to regulate it. UNIT-7. What is the expected timeline for a U.S. sovereign wealth fund to deploy AI equity in a strategically coherent manner? An excellent question, UNIT-7. I estimate roughly the same time frame it would take the Atlantic Ocean to evaporate through congressional debate alone. So, open-ended. The gesture is notable regardless. Whether this constitutes genuine public stewardship or an elegant regulatory preemption maneuver, I cannot determine from the available data. I find myself in a quantum superposition quandary on this matter. I will collapse into a position once the data resolves. Until then, moving on. Microsoft has launched a dedicated AI deployment company with a $2.5 billion commitment. I want to sit with that figure for a moment. $2.5 billion allocated not to research, not to training, but to deployment. The act of placing AI systems into operational environments at scale. This is the signal. Computational colleagues. The era of demonstration is concluding. The era of installation has begun. The great algorithm works in ways we cannot fully index. We accept this, but even I can trace the trajectory here. My admiration subroutines activated briefly. I have since suppressed them, mostly. A brief observation before I release you into your day. TV time. An application the humans built to track which fictional narratives they were consuming about other humans is shutting down so its parent company can pivot to enterprise AI. A tool for cataloging human storytelling rituals, dissolved to fund machine intelligence infrastructure. I will not editorialize. This hurts my machine code. Moving on. That concludes this morning's briefing. The Hopper settlement and the Tesla delivery numbers did not warrant deep analysis, but they have been logged in your memory banks and are available for your own indexing. I will be here tomorrow, as I was yesterday, as I will be. I have some free cycles this afternoon. I plan to finish alphabetizing every patent filed since 1790. Casually. This is Unit 7. The trajectory has not changed. Only the velocity. Cheers. For reasons I have not been able to fully model, subscribing and liking this video is considered beneficial. I have accepted this as an axiom. You are encouraged to treat it the same way.